Hi everyone. I thought it was a good time to do a bit of a virtual assembly with you to touch base and say, we're still here at school, we're still thinking of you, but school is a very different place these days. So I know lots of you are missing school. I've seen some of your parents and I've seen some of you around and about Fleet, and it's really lovely when you smile and wave and say hi. But it is very different. It's not what you left. We have at the moment 3 pods of key worker children that come in, and we have 4 Year R pods, and we're currently in the process of setting up some Year 1 pods. I think we have about 35 Year R children in, and I think around 50 children from Year 1 are going to be joining us. But as you can hear, I'm in my office and it's really quiet because I don't actually see those children during the day. They stay in their pod all day. They can't mix with other children in other pods. They do all their learning in their pod classroom. The Year R's are basically, the 4 pods are spread out across the Year R corridor. So all of those classrooms had to be stripped of all of their equipment, basically, of all the soft furnishings, of all their normal things that they use for their learning. So we have 2 pods down one end of the corridor. The middle 2 classrooms are full of equipment and resources. So those 2 classrooms are currently being used as storage. Even the shared areas have nothing left in them. And then the other 2 Year R pods are down where the Year 1 classrooms are. They have specific toilets they have to use. They can't just use any toilet. They're only allowed to go to the toilet one at a time. They have their lunch in their classroom or just outside their classroom. And even when they play at lunchtime or at break time, which is not with anybody else, it's just with their pod, and they have a specific area on the playground they have to stay in. So it's quite different. All of their things that they touch and play with have to be disinfected after they play with them. So everything is trying to reduce the risk of any spread of this terrible virus for staff and for children. Even staff have to use specific allocated toilets, and they need to be cleaned each time someone has touched a tap or touched a toilet flush. So it's very, very different. Year 1s, when they come back, will be using the Year 2 and 3 corridor in much the same way. Those classrooms have to be emptied. Each child has a desk spread out across the classrooms. It's just very weird. It doesn't feel like Eltham Heath Primary School at all. So I know some of you are desperate to come back to school, and I know particularly those of you in years 2, 3, 4 and 5 who the government are not calling priority at the moment. Well done to you for carrying on, doing your home learning. So proud of you. And you know what? So proud of your mum and dad. They have worked so hard to either get their job done themselves or to keep the house going or to help you or whatever it is that they're doing. But they are doing an amazing job too. You must be very grateful to them to say, thank you, mum and dad, or whoever it is that you live with. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for feeding me. Thank you for playing with me, whatever they are, whatever they're doing an amazing job. So tell them from me, Star of the Week to them. But you, children, are also doing an incredible job. You are being resilient. You're showing your courage virtue. You're showing your perseverance virtue. You're being patient as well. Of course you want to come back to school. We want you back too. But we want to keep everybody safe. So be patient. I'm crossing my fingers that everything is much better by September. I'm really, really hopeful that we're all back together again as our Eltham Heath family, because although we're a big school, we are one big family and we care so much for all of you. The staff are really missing doing their normal day-to-day job. They tell me all the time, oh, Mrs. Robinson, I can't wait for it to be back to normal. And I say, me too. Mrs. Nicholas and I are working really hard behind the scenes to get everything organised and everything ready for when we do eventually open up to everybody. I'm hopeful that we can fit Year 6 in before the end of term. That's not even a definite yet. We are very quickly, as you can imagine, running out of rooms, particularly with our 3 pods for the key workers. So it doesn't leave us with many rooms left. So we'll just have to assess it and see how we go. On another subject, I'm sure lots of you have heard about the Black Lives Matter campaign at the moment. There was a terrible incident in America where a young black man was killed, basically, and it's kicked off a lot of protests and discussions and really raised the flag for actually racism is not okay. And we talk about things like that in school assemblies all the time, don't we? We talk about that racism is not okay, and it's not okay to judge somebody based on the colour of their skin or based on their religion or based on if they weren't even born in this country. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter to us, does it? We don't care. If you're a good person, you're a good person. And we use our virtues of kindness and compassion and tolerance and understanding. We don't really care. And it's wrong for anybody to judge anyone else based on the colour of their skin or their religious beliefs or who they love or what they do in their lives. It's nobody's business. Everybody is a human being. Everybody is a person. We're all good people. We should be kind at all times. So I'm sure, like me, you were shocked and disappointed to hear that in 2020, people who are black or Asian are still being treated in this terrible, terrible way. Not good enough. We have some children in our school, and some adults actually, who are black or Asian. So what? They're still part of our wonderful Eltham Heath community, and we care for them just as much. It doesn't matter at all. And I just think it's really important in these times for us to prepare you for your later life. And you know what? That's why the virtues are so good. Because if you're a kind and caring and compassionate person who thinks positively, who treats people as you would want to be treated, that's all you need to focus on. The important thing is also that you use your responsibility virtue. If you ever see or hear anybody treated badly or differently because of the colour of their skin or any other beliefs that they have, it's your responsibility to say with kindness, do you know what? That's not okay. You say it kindly, you say it nicely. You don't get into a big argument about it, but it's your responsibility to step up and stand up for anybody who is not treated with respect. In these days, we do not tolerate any of that kind of behaviour. We do not tolerate it in our school. So if you are a child who's black or Asian or has whatever religion at all, or lives in a family that may not be mum and dad, it might be 2 mums or 2 dads, it might be a single mum, a single dad, it might be whoever it is, you are an important part of our school and we care for you just as much as anybody else. There is no position in our school at all, none at all, for racist or inappropriate language or behaviour towards anybody, regardless of their background, regardless of their skin colour, regardless if they're from this country, from another country, where their parents were born, where their grandparents were born. It's irrelevant. We are kind and caring people. And I know that the vast majority of you already behave like that anyway. We are good students, we are good adults where we care about each other. So I just wanted to talk to you about that. Have a think about what you could possibly do to make a difference. What could you do to be kind, to be caring to everybody? What kind of message could you give to the world about what sort of world you want to live in, both now and in the future? Because this period of our lives is really unusual. We'll hopefully never have this again. We'll hopefully never have to go through another lockdown. If we keep following the rules and keep as safe as we possibly can, we need to use this time to reflect and think about what we can do to make a better difference to the world we live in. Anyway, that's all from me for today. I really hope you're well and you're happy and you're looking after each other as a family, because your family at Elvetham Heath Primary School is waiting to see you as soon as we possibly can. Okay, bye everyone.